I know a lot of you guys that follow or subscribe to my channel. I've been waiting for an update on the In-Air Elite Suite, and today I finally have the update for you. There was a delay in my video because there was a delay with In-Air releasing an update for their device, but I think the delay was kind of worth it because of all the things that they've done now. So this is the Elite Suite. If you haven't seen my first video on this, you should see it because I cover everything that it is about this device. But the star of today's video is not the suite itself, it's this guy. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus on this guy. If you want to know more about this system itself, I'm gonna have more video on productivity and things that you definitely want to see. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned. So let's put this to the side. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on this because once again, it is the star of the show or of today's video. I've got Netflix in full screen, YouTube in full screen, Amazon Prime in full screen, and I've got Google Play Store in full screen in portrait mode. Connected to the In-Air Pod is my Xreal One. If you want to know how I did this, stay tuned because I feel like a damn genius right now, but keep watching. Why is this the star of the show? Well, this device happens to be compatible with what you see here. It is not just compatible with in-ear glasses, it is compatible with different glasses from different manufacturers, as well as a 3D projector. Yes, this is a 3D projector that works with this, and you can watch 3D movies on this with this, and it works very, very well. Not only does it work very well, in here specifically give an update to make this compatible to enhance your experience with things like projectors and other AR glasses. And what if you don't have a 3D projector and you're like, oh, I have a projector, but I still like to use this? Well, in here doesn't know this. I mean, I'm sure they know this, but they didn't mention anything about this. But this is a 2D projector that I've had. I bought this some time ago for trips. This thing can also connect to a 2D projector. Now, why would you want to connect it to a 2D projector? Well, some projectors don't have smart things like Netflix, Google, or any of those services. This one happens to, but some projectors don't have that. This will give you the ability to watch those movies. So even if you don't have 3D capabilities, you can still use this with your projector as long as you have an HDMI output. Now, besides that, I know most people came here for the glasses. So your best experience, without a doubt, is gonna be using In-Air's own glasses. This is the In-Air 2 Pro glasses. That's gonna give you the best experience with the pod. You're gonna get your 6 windows. You're gonna be able to arrange them side by side or one at the top and a bunch at the bottom. Hands down, the best experience with this device right here is gonna be with this. Why would you want to use other glasses opposed to In-Air's own glasses? Well, I'll give you my reason. Personally, I prefer to use the Xreal One with with the pod. Reason being is, yes, this is fine, but it's an average glasses, except it does have photochromic lens, which is nice, but the sound quality, it's very poor. The sound quality on the glasses is just poor, to me at least. The glasses that have the best sound quality of all XR glasses that I've tried is Xreal, followed by Rainio. So sound quality is the #1 reason why I choose to use my Xreal One with this. Now you might say, okay, why not just use earphones? yes, I can use earphones, and there are times where I do use earphones with this. When I do use earphones, I'm actually using these glasses instead. But when I'm home, I don't like to use earphones because I have to go search for them. I just don't like to use earphones when I'm home, so I like to use my glasses. And on top of that, this one has a wider field of view. So that's why I use my Xreal with this pod. Now, also, the thing with Xreal is it has a native 3 dove, so I don't get that 0 dove when I'm using this. Now, what about other glasses that don't have native 3 dove like Xreal? Well, that's where you start to get into the real big limitations. So this is a Xreal Air 2, which is a very similar glasses to the INAIR Pro 2 or whatever it's called. This is a Xreal, I believe this is a Xreal Air 3S or glasses. This is the feature. They all work with the device, and you can get your videos, you can watch movies in 3D with all these devices. But the caveat is with these devices right here, you're limited to one screen. You can do multi-screen, but your field of view, I'm gonna put a overlay screens on what you're gonna see. The difference between using this versus using this. You are definitely limited. Your best experience is gonna be using a single window when you want to use other glasses. You can do multi-windows, but once again, then the windows will be smaller. Xreal One, there's a trick to using Xreal One and this and getting a very good experience. In that you can get 6 windows, or you can have an ultra wide display using this and this together. And being that the Xreal One has native 3 dove, you can pan your head left and right to watch movies. The problem with the in-ear pod with the Xreal One is it keeps thinking it's a 3D device, so it keeps displaying the image in duplicate. But then when you connect the in-ear pod to a projector, which is a 3D projector, it gives you the option to show the image in 2D or 3D. So I figured if I can just trick the pod into thinking my Xreal One is a projector, then I will get the option to switch to 2D. And that's exactly what happened. You need this right here. You need some form of, I'm going to link all this. All this is going to be linked in the description under accessories for AR glasses. I've already talked about this before in one of my very old videos when I did how to connect to Google TV using this. So if you haven't seen that, you can watch there for your own pleasure. You basically connect this end to the pod. This right here, this adapter, which outputs USB-C video, connects to your glasses. And it connects right here, and that end, the other end connects to your glasses. And just like that, you will get a display in this. Now, once you get a display, is a couple more things you will need to do. First, you will need to go into the lab. There is a lab section of the Xreal One. Once you get into that lab section, you're gonna toggle the audio. You're gonna change the audio. That way you can get audio. If you don't change the audio, you're not gonna get this. You're not gonna get audio through there. You would have to use earphones. So change the audio to default. You change the audio to default, and then you also change the default to ultra wide 32:9. When you change those defaults, unplug your glasses and then plug it back in. Once you plug it back in, you're gonna get a 32:9. No. You're still gonna get a 2 display. Then you're gonna go into this right here. You're gonna go under general and change the output from 3D to 2D 1080p. Once you change it to 2D, now you'll be able to use your Xreal One with this in an ultra wide display. If you don't have any glasses just yet and you're thinking about getting this, then I believe the in-ear glasses is still gonna give you the best experience with this. Yes, the audio is poor, but you can always download an app. So what I did at first was I downloaded an app and I boosted the sound. And that app actually helps to boost the sound. That worked to some degree. Still doesn't sound as good as this, but it definitely sounded better than the native speakers. So that app definitely helps boost the bass and stuff like that. If that doesn't work, you can always use an earphones. If you like this video so far, please like, comment, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe. So those are the glasses. Now let's talk about projector. I bought this projector specifically to test this thing out, and this thing is kind of incredible, really. This projector is capable of playing 3D movies and basically gives you the opportunity to watch 3D content with your family, but you must have 3D content. If you don't have 3D content, then you're stuck to playing 2D on a projector this nice that has battery, 2 subwoofers, and it sounds amazing. But without 3D content, you just spent a whole lot of money when you could have got something a lot cheaper. That's where this thing comes into play. This thing will serve as your 3D source. With this right here, you can watch Netflix, ESPN, YouTube, just about anything on this thing on 3D. When you use this right here and XR glasses, it's a singular experience. It's an experience that only you get to enjoy by yourself. What if you want to do with your family and your kids? Well, you can't do it with these glasses. But with a projector, you can. All you have to do is get a 3D projector, have an in-ear pod, and this company also happens to make their own 3D glasses. This is an active 3D glasses, and you can get 2, 3, 4, 5 of these, and it will pair directly to this. So whatever is coming from here is streaming to this, and you can watch it in 3D in your glasses. The connection method to this is you will need a cable like this. Now, I just so happen to have this cable because this cable came with my fitness bike, which I will be showing a video, I will be making a video of. It came with my fitness bike, which has a TV on it. And I just happened to realize that I could temporarily borrow that fitness bike's cable, which has a HDMI and USB-C on one side. The USB-C connects to this, and the HDMI connects to the back of this projector. And just like that, it is connected. What you guys are seeing right now is my projector. Yeah, this thing is pretty clear. So as soon as I plug in the projector, it's gonna switch mode. As you guys can see, it's switching to HDMI 1. Which is the in-ear. So now I am switched to the pod. Okay, so this is the projector connected to the pod. As you guys can see, I have all my apps, Netflix. What I want to show you is the mode what it looks like when you are connected to a projector. So when you are connected to a projector, right, what you ideally want to do is you want to go to General, and there's a couple things you want to do. You want to turn on single window mode. That way you can watch movie in full screen. And then also you would want to change this mode to 4K, unless you want to do 1080p. And we're going to restart now. Okay, so now it's in side by side, right? So the next thing you're going to do is, depending on your projector, you're gonna go to your picture settings, and you're gonna choose, I don't know if you guys can see it, but on the screen I have well, it's gonna be hard to show, but I have different options on my projector. Hopefully you guys can see right now, but I can choose 3D mode, and I can choose left, right, 3D. Once I choose left, right, 3D, it's gonna say something about disabling, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And now my glasses is turned on automatically. If your glasses doesn't turn on automatically, then you're gonna need to press and hold the button if your glasses is compatible. Obviously, you guys are not gonna be able to tell to get this, 3D effect from your 2D screen, but this right here, everything is in 3D to me. Now, one thing I've thought about is, instead of doing the 3D in the settings, can I just press this? What happens when I just press this? Starting AI 3D. Oh my, oh wow, the 3D effects is, oh wow. The 3D effects is so much stronger. Wow.
The whole ride. I mean, it was already worth it. It was definitely worth it just to get up here. How many people?
Wow. The 3D effects is so much stronger, or so much better when you toggle this thing on. Wow. Okay, so without this on, it's 3D, but it's more like your screen is popping. With this on, it's like the actual person is really popping. Like he is actually popping, like it's popping out of the screen. Now that is something that I did not realize. Wow, that's cool. So I wonder what else I can do with it. Can I do it with Netflix? So I went back to Netflix and play something. I'm gonna play something random. No, I do not want this. Okay, let's say I clicked on.
Down a dark hole.
Now let me put it on 3D, see if it's 3D is stronger. Oh wow. The 3D effect is a lot stronger. Wow. I wonder if In Here even knows about this. This is crazy. Like, me and the family can literally be on the couch watching a 3D movie. Wow. This is impressive. What? It looks like this. Dang. Wow. Okay, this is crazy. This is crazy.